Hey there traders, hope you guys are doing well. So in this video guys, I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to go for a nice cycle, one of my favorite cycles that I do each morning and on weekends. And I'm going to be speaking about, if you are a struggling trader, one of the things that you probably need to do is actually condition yourself. And I'm going to explain how I myself condition myself to be a great trader. And this can work for anything you do in your life, and why it's very important to condition yourself if you are struggling with something in your life, whether it be work, whether it be your career, whether it be a sport or something you're studying. And I'm going to show you how conditioning yourself can actually change everything for you. And it's a quick video guys, but it's super important, and it's an absolute game changer. It was a game changer for me in my trading, and it took me to the next level. Catch you in a bit guys.
Okay guys, so I'm going to take you along this cycle with me just so it's not boring while I talk, so you can actually see something while I talk. So guys, I just want to talk about the huge benefits of conditioning yourself. So just my story, when I was battling with my trading, I identified that my two biggest problems were, first of all, that I was trading too big, and the second thing was that I wasn't using a stop loss. So I tried everything I can to avoid using these two things, and I didn't want to change these two things. So I tried my best to change my technical strategy and avoid changing the problem I had with my size and my stop loss. So what I had to do was I had to rewire my brain and actually condition myself to start trading small and to actually to trade with a stop loss. So what do I mean by conditioning yourself? So first of all, you have to identify your problems in your trading. And then you need to rewire your brain and actually condition yourself to actually believe that changing these things will actually work. So what most people do is they try and avoid these things by changing the technical strategy and not actually addressing the main problem. So what I actually had to do was for a week, I decided, after I blew up my account, I actually reloaded money into an account, and I was like, for a week I'm going to try trading small. Right, and by the end of the week, I was actually profitable. So what do I mean by trading small? I mean, let's just say, for example, I was trading at a dollar per point or per pip. I decided to trade with 20 cents per pip. All right, and then I tried that for a week, and I was actually profitable by the end of the week because it gave me a lot more flexibility in the market, and it allowed the market to breathe a lot more. All right, so before I was trading with a lot of fear because the market wasn't breathing enough. I was trading really, if you trade too big, it makes you trade with a lot of fear, and it gives you no flexibility, with your strategy or in the market itself. There's no breathing room. It forces you to feel very stuck in the market and very uneasy in the market. So I had to reduce my size, and that made a huge impact on my trading psychology as well. So by the end of the week, I was profitable. So knowing this, what I did was I decided to try this for another week, all right? And I ended up trying this for a whole month. So I humbled myself. And most people don't want to change their outlook on risk and their actual size, right? So I humbled myself. Most people are stubborn with the way that they trade, so I had to humble myself, and I traded small. So I did that for a whole month, and by the end of the month, I was profitable. I wasn't as profitable as I would have been, but at the same time, I probably would have been profitable, but then I would have blew my account. But because I traded small, I was actually up about 20 to 25% by the end of the month. All right, so this experience really helped me, and it rewired my brain. It flicked a light bulb switch went off. Right, a light bulb moment. It was like a light bulb moment, all right, in my trading. So the light switch came on, and basically this was really beneficial to me. All right, so this was the first part of conditioning myself. So going through the experience of changing a certain thing, humbling yourself, and changing it. All right, so the next thing that I did was I realized that this worked. But I still identified that another problem was that I was going through a bit of unnecessary drawdown because of the fact that I wasn't using a stop loss. And by getting out the market early when I was wrong would actually be, I thought about it, and I was like, this might be beneficial to me as well, because then I can get out early and then re-enter at a later stage and cut those losses early, all right, instead of sitting through all that drawdown. So I decided to use a stop loss for a week. I humbled myself because remember before I was never using a stop loss. So I decided now for a week I'll try using a stop loss. And by that end of the week, I was still profitable, right? And it actually improved my results even more. So then I ended up using using a stop loss for a whole month, and I conditioned myself for a month. So I put myself through this, trying to condition myself to actually use a stop. So by the end of the month, I was actually profitable again. But this time I was even more profitable. So that by using small size and by using a stop loss, by the end of the month, I had made like just over 30%. You know, this is like a new month now, the second month. So the reason you need to condition yourself is you need to identify your problems and you need to get comfortable transitioning into these changes. All right. So you need to rewire your brain and condition yourself the same way athletes, Mike Tyson, all these great athletes, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods, all these guys had to condition themselves as professional athletes in order to get better. When they saw there were problems and little things they could fix to improve their game, they had to condition themselves to actually be great, right? And go and humble themselves and be less stubborn, listen to their coaches and do certain things in order to improve their health, improve their game, improve their focus, improve their techniques and all that in certain ways. So as a trader, you have to do the exact same thing. You have to condition yourself. If you can see you have problems, you have to go through a phase of conditioning yourself and rewiring your brain so that you've actually got to trick your brain into knowing that, okay, by doing this certain thing, it's going to actually improve your results. So the things that I had to do were trade small. I had to condition myself to trade small, and I had to condition myself to use a stop loss. And by the end of the conditioning process, which was a month each, I identified and I tricked my brain into knowing, I rewired my brain into knowing that these things are actually beneficial and not a hazard. All right, so I realized that the technical strategy was not actually the problem, and the problem was the size and the stop loss. Right, if you can read them, all you need to be good at is reading the market, knowing when the market's about to turn or reverse, or knowing when the market's about to continue. All right, the technical strategy doesn't really matter too much because the market can move wherever it wants at any point. Right, so your risk, so your size and your stop loss, you need to condition yourself to actually use those things and rewire your brain into knowing that these things are actually very beneficial. And you need to look at your results over a month or two using these things and how beneficial they are. So conditioning yourself, guys, is very, very important. I think you need to do it to improve your results. You cannot be doing the same thing over and over again, thinking it's the technical strategy that's, and changing it to accommodate for the problem you have with your risk. Okay, because that's not going to solve it. You can try 1,000 different technical strategies and it's not going to actually solve the problem for you, because you can change your technical strategy. It can be great, but you get one trade that goes against you and it goes down 20, 30 pips against you. And because you over leveraged, most people can't even handle a 20 pip drawdown, right? When they 20 pips and drawdown, their account starts blowing up. I used to be like that as well. I used to trade so leveraged that it was actually frightening. Okay. And on top of that, I wouldn't use a stop loss. And on top of that, I would stack positions when the market went against me. So that's all a form of greed and it's a form of stupidity. All right. So you have to eradicate that from your trading. Trade small and use a stop loss. Condition yourselves so that your brain so that your brain gets rewired and you can actually trust that these things work and that they're actually beneficial to your trading. Another reason why this is so important is because, let's just say you go back to your old ways and you start using a big size and no stop loss and all these things, okay, and you blow your account. What you'll actually remember the experience of when you conditioned yourself and the results from it. So because you experience positive results when you condition yourself, you'll automatically go back. Once you blow your account again and do stupid things like that, you'll go back to using what worked, right? Because of that conditioning experience and you seeing that it worked, automatically now you'll go back to using that. All right, even though you blew up and all that, now you'll go back to actually what worked. And that's the positive, that's the benefit of conditioning yourself, is that the experience will always take you back to what actually works And now you'll use what worked because of that conditioning process, and you'll carry on being profitable because of that. If this video helped, guys, I'll chat to you soon. Have a great weekend.